Hello and welcome. I am recording a test solve of a case from the Excel Collegiate Challenge. This one is called Foot Golf, and it is, I believe, for the team competition, so it is gigantic. There are 10 levels and 5 bonuses. So not really sure how long this is meant to take a single person, and I may not get through it all today, but let's see how it goes. I'm going to start my timer and see where we get to. Okay, so you were a soccer fanatic, and the minute you heard about foot golf, you wanted to get into it. To become a recognized organizer, you have to show that you understand the game and that you can run a competition. Levels 1 through 6 calculate scores using stroke play, counting the number of strokes, kicks. Okay. 7 and 8 score players using the stable forward format, whatever that is. And 8, 9, and 10 estimate distances from the tee and to the hole. 5 bonus questions. Okay. What is the score for each of the 20 players using stroke play? Score is 73. In foot golf, same as in golf, stroke play means the score. Okay, so we're just, all right, that's very complicated, but I think it's just saying add up these numbers. And we're good. Okay, next. Stroke play reporting score and position. What is the score and position for each of the 20 players using stroke play? Rank the players using their scores. The winner is the player with the lower score. Please report your answers as a 4-digit. Sorry, what? Score, position, par for each of the 18 holes is blah, blah, blah. The score is 68. Fine, 68 makes sense. If the player comes in third position, the reported result is. The result should be a number. 6803 would be an incorrect answer. What? Okay. Got it. I think. So I think we're just saying we're summing up all of these. Are all these unique? At least that would make it straightforward. Yes, they are. Okay, fine. So then I guess we're including this guy because 68, let's see, there's 64, 66 are both better. And then, no, there's also a 62. So then they're not third. That does not make sense to me. Unless we just said if they were third. Rank the players using scores, yes. I'm very confused by this. Okay, I'm just going to add in a note because it is the kind of thing I'm testing for. Are we ranking the example? If not, where did 3 come from? Okay, so anyway, so I want to say rank of this number in this reference lock, and I think I want it the other way around. So that's going to be order 1 ascending, yes. So number 1, yes, would be 62, fine. So then it should be 100 times this plus this. Also find this wording kind of weird. So I'm going to highlight that because that sure looks like a number to me. Okay. Stroke play, reporting score and position using count back to sort out the tie for first place. Okay. What's the score and position for each of the 20 players? Rank the players using their scores. The winner is the player with the lowest score. Use the count back method to sort out a tie for first place. Ties for other positions do not have to be resolved. Okay. Under the countback method, the winner is the player whose score in the last 9 holes is lower. If the tie persists, the process is repeated for the last 6, 3, and 1 holes. Scorecard is provided. It's easier to calculate the countback method using scores above, on, below par. Fine. 4-digit number, 2 digits for results for players in position 139. Yes. Score is 72. Player came in 6th. Okay. Let's just find this description a little weird, but I think I understand what's happening now. Okay, so first we just want to sum them all. Then we want to get rank average of this and this, and what is it, 1? So there should be a few people tied for first. And there are. Wait, so how do we handle other ties? I'm very confused now. Oh, sorry. Well, it would help if I had locked this reference so that the results made any sense at all. Okay, so now we've got something better. Those people are tied for first, but what about other ties? Ties for other positions do not have do not have to be resolved, but well, they kind of do, because you got to give a rank. Also, I'm not sure what this is doing, honestly, either. Alright, so I'm just going to say count ifs this or this. How many? I want to know how many players are less than that. Sorry, +1, obviously, because there's always yourself. So this is letting everybody win ties, which I guess is fine. So then just for the ones, we're interested in some of the last 9. Doing this very manually, but I think that's fine. Then some of the last 6. Still ties. So some of, I think it said then some of the last 3. Fine. So what are we saying then? So this person is third. Then this person is first. This person is second. Okay, so I guess we're saying this times 100 plus if this equals 1, then give me this, otherwise this. I think it's still underspecified on how to handle other ties, but whatever, it is what it is. Stroke play using scores relative to par, birdie, eagle, etc. Fine. What is the score for each of the 20 players using stroke play with scores relative to par? Okay, so I think it's just going to be sum of this plus the sum of this. Yes. Sum of this plus sum of the pars. So I guess I should briefly explain the rationale for that. So if, like this player, for example, nets out to 0 below par, all these numbers add up to 0, which means that their number of strokes is the par number of strokes, which is 72. Okay, level 5, stroke play using code. What is the score for each of the 20 players using stroke play with score codes? Okay. So it's just going to be sum of this lock plus sum of XLOOKUP, this in here, lock, returning from back here, lock. Let's just check if it matches, and it does, so I think we're good. Okay, level 6, stroke play using a string of codes. Fine, same basic idea, as long as, do these all have 18 in them? Let's do columns of text split of this by, not by a comma, but by a semicolon. And the answer is yes, they all have 18. Okay, so then it's basically the same. I assume it's the same pars all the time. Well, it adds to 72 anyway, which is the main thing. So I'll copy that down here, and then say text split of this by semicolon and then all the rest stays the same. 68, good. Okay. Stableford format involves scoring points based on the number of strokes taken at each hole. Okay, got it. Sure. But I think we're still just... okay. So now we've got that slight variation, but fine. So... so... I'm just going to call this ABP, above below par, and STBT, Stableford points. So I think what I want is sum of XLOOKUP of, now, you want, so over par is positive numbers. So this minus par, look that up in, what the heck do I call it, above below par, returning from Stableford points. Okay, that checks out. Level 8, Stableford format with handicaps. What is the score for each? Handicap is the number of extra kicks a player is expected to take to complete a round based on their ability. Net scores are calculated by subtracting kicks from a player's score based on their handicap. Handicap 6 player gets 1 kick deducted from their scores in the hardest 6 holes. Interesting. Okay. What if there's a tie? Is this linear? Let's see. Yes, this whole thing is just +2, isn't it? Yes. Par is 2. Oh, okay. Fine. Then I don't think it even makes a difference which holes you apply the Stableford thing on. The score is greater than 2, also get 0. Ah, okay. That's important. That is an interesting place to add in that very material new piece of information. Okay, I see. Double bogey or worse. Fine. Okay, yeah, that is just introduced here. Okay. Okay. 1 kick is deducted from the hardest 15 holes. Index 1. Oh, okay, sorry. There is a unique order here. Got it. Fine. Okay. So, how am I going to spread this 15 out? Its first question is, what's the range of handicaps? Up to very high is the answer. So I guess first I just want equals int of this over 18. That tells me, let's put that there, but then if, say, there's 54, then you get 3 whole numbers taken off each one. Fine. So, and then, sorry, the indices, index 1 through 15. Okay. So, what I want is int of this over 18, that's the number that you take off every hole, plus this index lock, sorry, let's put this in brackets, that is less than or equal to mod this. So I want to say mod that by 18, but I also want to adjust for, no, do I want to adjust it? Because if it's exactly 18, then that should be treated as 0. So actually I don't think I need to adjust anything. So you're subtracting 1 off everything except 17, 16, and 18, which makes perfect sense. And then if I make this 54 for a second, subtracting 3 off everything, that's fine. If I make it 53, subtracting 3 off everything except the easiest hole, which only gets 2, I think that's working. So, sorry, boom, that's 15. So then, I want to take all of that. So I want to say here, score minus the adjustment, minus both of those pieces, then minus the par, lock, that is your score above or below par. And then that, we're going to want to XLOOKUP in above, below par, returning from STPT, and if not found is now 0. And then I think we just want to sum that. And we get a 52. Okay, I think that's working. Next, level 9, longest kick. How far did each of the players kick in the longest kick contest? Longest kick contest is won by the players whose tee shot comes to rest furthest from the tee. In the foot golf hole sheet, each cell measures 2 meters by 2 meters. The distance is measured between the closest points in the ball cell. Oh, sorry, in the ball cell, right. And the row in the tee position, row 53. Okay. So I think we're saying row, sorry, equals row of indirect of that. That's in row 12. This is just a fixed 53. So I think we're just saying that. Right. Yeah, so presumably these are all smaller numbers than 53, otherwise something's gone very wrong, and indeed they are. So then I think we're just saying equals this lock minus this times 2. Sorry, I think I also want to subtract 1 times 2, because it's the bottom edge of this one to the bottom edge. Yes. And that's your 80. Okay. And closest to the pin contest. How close to the pin hole is each of the balls? Closest to the pin contest is won by the player whose tee shot comes closest. Okay. So the hole position. So we got a row call. It's going to be, well, the row is just 12, I know that. And the column is going to be, well, let's see. Just do it by hand since there's only one. That is 15. But you know what, let's be slightly more systematic. So let's say column of indirect of that. Okay. So then here, say row of indirect of this. Let's say column of indirect of this. And carry that down to all the rest. Okay, so then this is the row col. So then I want the row dist and the col dist. And finally I'll get the distance. Okay, so the row distance is going to be the absolute value of this row lock minus this row. Interesting. I want to say minus 1, but you got to watch out because if they're equal, then I don't want minus 1. So I guess we'll say if this equals this, then 0. Otherwise, the absolute value of that, minus 1. I think that works. So those are all 0, which is what we want. And then the column dist, same basic idea. Actually, it's the exact same thing. If I just take that $sign off and that $sign off, whoops, and this $sign off, I think I can just copy it over. So here, 10 to 15 is 4. 24, yep, that all looks fine. So then it's going to be 2 times square root of this squared plus this squared. 14.42, yes. 16, yes. Okay. I think we're working there. Do we have instructions on rounding? Nope, we don't. Note that rounding question mark. Highlight that. Okay, so then we just have bonuses to look at. This is for a 10 level case. This has gone by pretty quickly. What is the sum of the scores of the top 3 ranked players? Oh, sorry, in level 1. Got it. So it's going to be sum of small. Top 3 ranked players are the ones with the smallest scores. So small of this by sequence 3. Okay, getting a hole in one is a relatively rare occurrence. How many holes in one were scored in level 5, excluding the examples? 5. Okay, using stroke codes. Got it. Okay, so equals X lookup this in here, lock returning, returning from here, lock plus R. And I want that to be equal to 1. Sum of minus this equals 1. I think the answer is 12. Okay. Next, the bottom 5 players with the 5 highest scores get $5 for each birdie and $10 for each eagle they got. What's the total prize money paid to these players in level 6? Okay. So, where are we here? So I guess first I want the bottom 5 players. I want large. Let's just do sort this for a second to make sure. Do we actually have a distinct 5? We do. Okay, so then let's say large this 5. Then we're going to say if this is greater than or equal to that, then say X for a second. Okay. So by row mid of this by sequence comma 18 columns starting at 1 in steps of 2, 1. Sorry, what are we doing? We're going to X look up that value in here, lock returning from some payout column, which I will add in a second, which we'll put there. Then we want to sum that, otherwise 0. That's saying NA, which I don't love. Hang on. This might be a funkiness. 42. Yeah, so some of these might be longer than 1 character. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Okay, so then I need to do this a slightly different way. So let's do text split this by semicolon. Then X lookup that in here, returning from here, and I should have locked. And then sum. Could have done this in the by row with a funky lambda, but why bother? Okay, so then quickly, what are the payouts? 5 for a birdie, 10 for an eagle. Okay. 5 for a birdie, oops, 5, 10 for an eagle. I guess this group is not getting any albatrosses or condors, but let's just put in 1,000 to see, 10,000, whatever. So I got 30, 50, yeah, okay, no albatrosses or condors whatsoever. Fine. So if that's that, then I want that, otherwise 0. And then I can sum that. That should be my prizes. Get rid of that. Paste this up here. Okay. 2 more bonus questions. How many Stableford points were awarded to handicap adjusted net scores equal to birdie, eagle, albatross, and condor combined on level 8? Okay. Fine. Wait, sorry. Stableford adjusted birdie, eagle, albatross, condor combined. Oh, no, the points. Okay. So birdie, eagle, albatross, condor is, sorry, that's 6. Let's go to 8. Birdie, eagle, albatross, condor, yes, is anything below par. So, think, let's see, this number minus this is what they hit. This is the par, so this whole thing is their score versus par. So, let's just pull it out here. So, we're going to grab all of that. All right, all of this. Call it versus par. All that nonsense. And, sorry, one again. Versus par. So I'm interested in some if versus par is less than 0, then all that stuff. Otherwise, 0. So 659. Kind of high, but okay. That's versus a total of 940. Okay, I don't know. Could be right. Oops. Okay. Assuming all players kicked off from 053, what is the longest kick recorded in the close to the pin contest, excluding the example? Okay. Longest kick recorded in the close to the pin contest. So that is level 10, right? Yes. They all kicked off from 053, which I think is where the longest kick contest kicks off from also. I'm just going to make this pretty simple, I think. But no, we do need to do both. Fine. So let's do 053. This is where I should have just made this a formula right from the start, but never mind. Row of indirect of that. Okay, so then we just need to reproduce all of these. So I'll just make it in the half hour. Just maybe. Okay, so sorry, I assume I'm excluding examples because we usually are. Excluding, yes. Get these. Okay, so the longest distance is 84.1, which is right here. Just quick check above, nothing bigger, below, nothing bigger. So it is 84.1, 188, but let's just do it with a formula for the sake of completeness. What is the longest? Okay, sorry. So I didn't even need to see which one it was. I just needed to know the max. This thing is so long. I'm still scrolling. Okay, here we are. Max of those. And that's it. All right, I'm going to pause for a second and see if I can figure out if there are answers in here somewhere and if I got my answers right or not, so I can tell you that, and then we should be good. Okay, so it looks like my answers all check out except for this level where it looks like the instructions say ties for other positions do not have to be resolved, but I think in the solution they did actually resolve all the ties. So, for example, both of these 75s, I ranked 10th, but in the solution these are tie broken. So, all good. I'm pretty happy to have actually got through that in half an hour. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.